But One Love, this Bob Marley movie we watched.
But what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
so meh.
Total meh. I mean, certain
enjoyed
parts
that.
were really cool. At the beginning, the middle of the movie gets interesting when you see like his process of writing a song, coming with the band. They're all kind of doing the song. You know, it gets more like you're more like in it. But the beginning and the end were just kind of like lame. And the movie, like, it's so bizarre. It sometimes just goes into this like slow-mo cinematic moment where really cheesy music comes in, and it's like supposed to be like inspiring music, but it's like music you would download from like a free music website for a YouTube video or something. Like check it out, we traveled to New Zealand and it was beautiful, and it's like suddenly this really cheesy music. Like it's a Bob Marley movie made by his family. It's a like in the beginning they say like Tough Gong Productions or something. So like his family made it. They have full access to all of Bob Marley's music catalog. Like, give me an original score that's doing versions of Bob Marley songs, or like, give me way more musically. But it just, the story just kind of felt like a montage at certain times, like in a corny, not good way. A montage isn't necessarily bad, but kind of a letdown. And the actor, I never bought him. I never believed him to be Bob Marley for a second.
I would say it didn't bother me as much as it bothered you.
Piece of shit.
I'm
just kidding.
Also hear that I would have wanted the music making parts were my favorite as well, so I would have wanted more of that. And yeah, what do you mean? You said piecing together a score?
Well, like, you know, have like a composer compose like a symphonic score, but using like Bob Marley's songs. So, you know, like kind of play like No Woman, No Cry, but with an orchestra type of shit. Or even some
like
deeper cuts.
Yeah, like make new masters of these songs.
Exactly.
Or like, where's the unreleased tracks?
Unreleased tracks.
You know,
And
I mean,
there's...
I'm sure he was a guy that liked to jam. He didn't record everything, but like...
Oh, there's a lot of like
else?
deep cuts, though, of Bob Marley songs.
And like, what are the other versions, you know?
Yeah.
Let's put it all out there.
Just like for the music to be the thing that I was like, oh, wow, this is corny, shitty music in a Bob Marley movie. Like, one of the greatest songwriters of all time, Bob Marley. And you're giving me this shit? It was really
It also didn't really like, I don't know, show him in all his dimensions, you know? It was just a little...
Well, sure. I mean, it
like
was just
where were his multiple women? Like they talked about it one time, one mention of like, I'm raising your kids from other women, like one line acknowledging kids from other people. But like, I don't know. And then you were talking about how you also wanted to know where the other two guys
were. I did look into that.
And
like Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer,
those guys,
pretty much no mention in the movie. There's just like a throwback scene, like, you know, when they're in a flashback, and like clearly that's supposed to be Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer, but like they have no real acknowledgement.
Were his bandmates.
These were like at the beginning, the original Wailers was a trio, the three of them. Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer wrote a lot of like Bob Marley's famous songs. I don't know which ones, but like they were a team, you know. But in defense of the movie, at the point the movie starts, those two had already quit the band.
Sure, but that's my point, is that like you want to know how the band starts and then how it falls apart and then what happens next. Like you want to know the saga of this man and all the journey he like went through, and I feel like it just really kind of skimmed the surface and didn't ever actually like dive very deep in any of it.
It was like another issue because his family made it. Like they were kind of like, this is our dad, the hero, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
Like,
it was generic, like, you know?
Yeah.
They just did like a generic impression of him instead of like any real, truly emotionally gripping.
Well, and there was like, yeah, like just that one line, or like showing like he was like kind of a dick one time in the movie, basically. The rest of it, he's like, yeah, all good. But like, there was no real depth to the character because they were trying so hard to make him just this like saint, like this larger than life guy, like, show me the real guy. But also, so with the actor playing Bob Marley, clearly Bob Marley's kids must suck at acting because they look exactly like him. Well, they sound like him. Like this is like that I would have bought, you know, seeing them,
Well,
but
that
they
doesn't
must
mean
not
they
be
wanna
great
do
actors.
it, or they are not interested in acting in their dad's footsteps.
But they made the movie. So you're
Yeah,
making the movie. The
I don't
discussion
know.
doesn't happen like, hey, Steven,
gonna play
you want to
him?
play him? Like like Bob Marley's grandson can play him at 18. His like
Yeah, that would be-
young, you know, like you have multiple ages, you have everything.
Yeah.
You know,
That would be like a really beautiful.
would have been kind of cool. And like I'd have been like,
Saga.
oh wow, it's like I'm really watching Bob Marley. I might have been able to like be in it more. But this guy, I don't know
didn't
that
buy
he
the
did
guy.
a bad job. I just didn't buy it.
I don't think he did a bad job, but yeah.
It's a really hard role. Like you're playing, it's like playing Michael Jordan. You know, it's like you can't do it.
Yeah,
Who could play Michael Jordan? You'd be like, I bought it. I thought he was. First,
Exactly,
like my brain
it's-
forgot it's not him. It just wouldn't happen. But like Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles, like
Sometimes
You
it
don't look at
works,
Jamie
but I
Foxx.
think most of the time, I mean, it's a slippery slope, like imitating somebody else, you know?
yeah,
The more you know about it, that person they're imitating, the harder I feel like you're going to critique it.
right. Cillian Murphy had it so easy. Like nobody even knows shit about Oppenheimer's like mannerisms.
Nobody cares like
Yeah.
how close of a match he is or exactly. But then you
So
do
really
Elvis and it's like, oh, everybody's going to rip you to shred.
Yeah, but Homeboy did okay.
He did
in
okay,
Elvis.
he did
and
all right.
I wasn't the whole time
He's
just
everywhere
thinking.
lately.
He's killing it.
But we keep laughing at him because he just like has a deeply different voice every time.
Oh, but so in Dune 2, he's a guy, he's famous for his like cool,
Yeah.
voice. Uh-huh. And in Dune 2, he does like a Spanish accent or something.
I
It's
wasn't
like,
hearing Spanish
It was
accent.
so weird. He's like, we have to get the girl.
He did not
like it was.
sound
He
like
had
that.
this like weird accent.
I don't think that's what happened.
I want to get all the spice.
Not how I'm remembering
And they're
it.
like, it was something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Like it
We'll
changed.
play it
That
back.
was
We'll watch it again.
inconsistent.
Hate it again. No,
You're
I'm
my
kidding.
brother. You'll ruin everything. He's trying to be like Russian, maybe or something.
Inconsistent. That's another no. You don't. It's hard when you do like an accent or an impersonation to keep staying like in that lane the whole time and not slip in and out.
Right. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, accents are really hard. Like that's why you have like a vocal coach if you're gonna do an accent in a movie, because like they'll train you to do it, but they'll also be with you on set to make sure it stays
Right.
tuned. You know.
I forget what exactly the game was, but for Schitt's Creek, Moira, when she was like losing her personality and like all of her Moira-isms, which are so great. I love that character so much. John Levy would like do something to like and have her, I think, say this one line back and like reset, which I thought was interesting because she's just so over the top, that character, that like I think you naturally are just gonna peel back each time you say anything go back to like a normal speech pattern, but she does not have a normal speech pattern.